Jihad Campbell, he's going to the NFL. No surprise here. I think he'll be a really good NFL linebacker.
I do too, yep.
Well, he makes some money this year in Tuscaloosa, by the way. I'm not talking NIL. I'm talking about his draft stock.
That's right.
Only went up all season long.
I agree. So Jihad Campbell leaving for the NFL. He'll be a next great linebacker for Alabama in the NFL. Our buddy, our guy, Tyler Booker, who has been on this show weekly for 2 years, he announces he is on his way to the NFL. Roll Tide for life there, Booker. I thanked him for coming on the show on Twitter, and he said, save me a spot on the show. So I think throughout the NFL seasons, we've got a guy we can call on every now and then to get a little Booker NFL comments.
Yeah, I was texting a little bit with Book last night. I absolutely love that guy. I think he's been an exceptional face for Alabama football.
Yep.
He's a guy that stuck through and said all the right things when he stuck through the coaching change there. I think he's, has it gone team-wise the way everybody wanted it to go while he was there? No. And it hasn't gone the way he would want it to go. But I don't think anybody can point the finger at Tyler Booker and say that guy didn't give his all and try to make it happen. I think he's a great representative of Alabama football, and I hope he goes and kills it in the NFL. Yeah. I don't think anybody's going to be surprised that we love Tyler Booker.
A nice little transition from Saban to DeBoer with Tyler Booker. And then we get to Jalen Milroe, and as I said on a video yesterday on our social platforms, I think this is the perfect ending for Jalen Milroe in Tuscaloosa because what he did, he let the fan base off the hook. He let Kalen DeBoer and the coaching staff off the hook by announcing he's going to the NFL. Nobody has to make a tough decision. Alabama fans can remember Jalen Milroe for the great times, the 2 wins over Georgia, the SEC championship, the 4th in I forget how long at Jordan-Hare, all the good Jalen Milroe moments. They can remember that and hold that in fond memory, not have to, think about him quarterbacking at Alabama anymore and wherever you fall on that side of the fence. And then I think he lets Kalen DeBoer off the hook from making a tough decision that if he wanted to stay in college, do I tell him he doesn't have a place on this team and he goes to another college to finish his career? Perfect ending, in my opinion, for Kalen DeBoer.
Yeah, look, behind the scenes, we don't know what happened. I mean, they could have had a sit-down. Hey, look, I'm kind of undecided. What do you think? Well, what I think is we don't have a spot for you.
I think you really ought to try the NFL.
Could have been that. I think more so the more they weighed this out, the lasting look was not good against Michigan. But again, it takes one team to fall in love with you. And, I did a video for us yesterday, and I think that when you look at it, it's going to be Shedeur and Cam Ward in one of those orders, and then you got to figure out who that third quarterback is. And more than likely, we just don't see less than 3 quarterbacks going in the first round.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to reach. Most people have that third quarterback as Jalen Milroe. He is going to
I think his stock only goes up from this point forward.
Well, it has to, yeah. I mean, I think it's at as low as it can go right now. And then once he goes to Indianapolis and has his pro day, I mean, the measurables are going to be incredible. And there are going to be 2 or 3 teams that are going to be like, this guy, when you put it all together, let's look at what he did against LSU. Let's look at what he did against Georgia. And these coaches have egos. Hey, I can make this guy do this every single Sunday.
I told an Alabama fan that yesterday. He was texting me when Milroe announced he was going to the NFL. He was excited about that, by the way. And he was like, I can't believe he's going to the NFL, though. I was like, hey, he's probably, I said, he might be the 3rd best quarterback in this draft. And he's like, you got to be kidding me. I was like, oh, no, his measurables, people will go crazy. And he said, at the combine, and he said, so you mean like a worse Anthony Richardson? I was like, he's a better college quarterback than Anthony Richardson.
Oh, much better.
That's the whole thing, is Anthony Richardson was not the college quarterback that Jalen Milroe has been. Richardson goes to the combine, and the Colts fall in love with the guy. Jalen Milroe's measurables will be every bit what Anthony Richardson's were, and he's been a better college quarterback. So don't sit here and think. I mean, I don't know where the guy's going to go, but as we always say, and we're not the ones that invented this, it only takes one team to fall in love with you. Indianapolis fell in love with Anthony Richardson, and thus Anthony Richardson got drafted in the first round. And I think Milroe's going to have the same type of combine that Richardson did.
If the season ended today, there's one more weekend. New England gets the first pick. They seem to be happy with Drake May.
They should be.
Oh, yeah, they're going Travis Hunter.
Then there's Tennessee, Cleveland, and the Giants, 2, 3, and 4. That's their draft order right now. Somebody needs a quarterback, and a quarterback. Is there a chance he could go number 4 overall?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Where was Indianapolis when they drafted
4?
4? Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, so that's the kind of information. I mean, he's hearing that you could be the third quarterback taken. And by the way, the team that's picking second, Tennessee, needs a quarterback. Okay, Shedeur Sanders. Cleveland needs a quarterback. Okay, Cam Ward. The Giants need a quarterback.
I'm out of quarterbacks.
Okay, Jalen Milroe. Oh, by the way, New England may trade down to somebody else in the draft who wants a quarterback who jumps up to number 1. So you could go maybe third, right? I mean, it's crazy. You could be the fourth quarterback off the board and go fourth. It's insanity when it comes to quarterbacks in the NFL. They don't mind. They will struggle to take a running back in the first round because they don't want to waste a pick.
Yeah.
But they will waste a pick on taking a future gamble on a quarterback.
So Keith throws this out there in the mybookie.ag chat room. Watch the Ravens. Not that the Ravens need a new starter, but you could keep Jalen Milroe on a rookie contract for 5 years as a backup to Lamar Jackson. And in the event Lamar Jackson misses a start, the skill set that Jalen Milroe brings, you don't have to change your offense. Like, Lamar Jackson's a unicorn in the NFL. There are not a whole lot of quarterbacks like him that you can use as a backup, right? Where if my guy is out, I really don't have to change a whole lot of what I do on offense. Jalen Milroe is that guy.
Yeah, but you don't do a first-round pick for that, though, right?
You could. I mean, you're going to have him on a rookie contract. And when you're talking about the Ravens, a team that has a lot, they don't have a whole lot of needs that you absolutely have to use a first-round pick on.
I don't see him slipping out of the first round just based on how well he'll test. Now, if he was to get injured and wasn't able to go out and run and throw and that kind of stuff, then and all you've got is film, then that could be a problem. But he is going to wow a lot of people. I don't know how you guys feel. This past NFL draft, when you look at Drake May, you look at Jaden Daniels, you look at Caleb Williams, you look at Bo Nix, you look at Michael Penix Jr., this was a great NFL draft, and I think you've got 4 or 5 longtime starters.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've got a longtime starter coming up in this draft.
And the other thing I was going to bring up is if you're an NFL team, you look at next year's draft. Who is your obvious starter coming out of next year's draft? I mean, look at the quarterback slants that are left behind in college football once this group leaves. Who blows you away?
I think that's where sadly, that's where we're going with quarterbacks in general.
I know.
It seems like quarterback play is starting to.
I mean, who blows you away?
Yeah, I mean, I brought this up the other day. Like, if you were to give me your first-team All-American quarterback, you guys said you wouldn't be surprised if it's Eli Manning or Arch Manning.
Arch Manning. He hadn't even taken a snap. It'll probably be Lenoris Sellers, who, by the way, will not be eligible for next year's draft.
John Mateer at Oklahoma.
And by the way, Sellers didn't look fantastic in his bowl.
He did not. You're correct. Mike Shula calling plays, incidentally, and he did not look fantastic. I saw a lot of old-school Mike Shula play calling in that game. I don't know if you noticed that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, so I'm just saying, that helps Milroe is that it's not like NFL teams are like, we're going to pass on quarterback this year because, oh, my gosh, next year.
Yeah, I think Drew Aller will probably be your number one guy that people.
Are you kidding me?
I swear. Just based on the fact that he's, 6'4", 6'5", 240 pounds. He's got a live arm.
Well, listen, if Drew Aller is the best of the crop next year, you best draft this year.
Well, I think that part of the reason, I think Sean Payton saw down the line and he said, hey,
I can make something out of Bo Nix.
We can move Russell Wilson on. Bo Nix fits what I want to do here in Denver. Let's go ahead and get him now.
Well, by the way, Sean Payton.
That's why, like I said, if I was Carson Beck, Quinn Ewers, even a guy like Jalen Milroe, if you believe you can come back and be more consistent, you can be that number 1 overall guy next year.
Yeah. Or you can go now and get paid because they're hurting for quarterbacks right now. But